Hello, free spirits. I hope you're doing well today. I have a beautiful topic that is vital to understand in our spiritual growth and simply our growth as human beings. And this can make a life change and a true transformation in anybody's path and anybody's journey. We're going to talk about the heart and the heart chakra as the true human intelligence, the center of intelligence. People who live through their heart have very different lives as compared to people who live through their brain. The heart has been referred to as the second brain. But the more we know about the heart and the heart chakra, we actually are thinking that the heart is the first brain, the true center of human intelligence. The heart retrieves information, sends signals to the brain. The heart knows, and the heart makes decisions. When we talk about the heart, we have to talk about intuition, because there is a direct relationship between how the heart works and how we make decisions through our intuition. Of course, we still use our brain, but we don't live through the brain only. And this is part of every human being's spiritual growth. The heart seems to be connected to a type of intuition that is not bound by time or space. That source of intuition is universal consciousness. I'm sure you heard about universal consciousness before, but if this is the first time you hear about it, there's nothing really complicated about this. There is one consciousness, one source of everything, of creation. We call it universal consciousness, higher intelligence, higher awareness, or even God. It's very different to live through the heart than to live simply through the mind. So from the Heart Math Institute, we know how information flows. The heart gets the information first, then the brain gets the information. The heart sends a signal to the brain, and the brain sends the signal to the body. So now we understand that this is the real flow of information. Let's talk about the relationship between the heart and the luminous energy field. The luminous energy field is also called the human luminous energy field. It's also called the subtle body in Eastern philosophy. The body is an extension or projection of the luminous energy field. This is the subtle dimension. It also contains energy fields, mind, and thoughts. The luminous energy field contains information from the causal dimension or the causal body. In another video that you can access right here, I explain in more detail what is the physical dimension, the subtle dimension, and the causal dimension. When this energy is not flowing properly, it creates an imbalance which we can experience as physical pain or mental illness. When we are truly in sync with our heart and our luminous energy field, we make decisions informed through higher awareness, because the heart is connected to the one consciousness, the awareness. Let's talk a little about the chakra system. I also have another video that you can access right here that explains in detail what is the chakra system, what are the chakras, and how many cultures around the world throughout history have studied this chakra system. You can think about chakras as energy centers. Some people also call them vortex of energy, luminous points, or wheels of energy. We study 7 main chakras that regulate our psychology, our biology, and the way we see the world, especially the heart chakra, which is in the center of the chest. The first chakra, if we start with the crown, is called Sahasrara, and this is related to higher consciousness. Below that, between the eyebrows, we have the Ajna chakra, situated in the third eye. This is related to intuition and foresight. The Vishuddha chakra is located in our throat area, and this is related to speech and communication. The heart chakra, right in the center, in the middle of these 7, is called Anahata chakra, and it is related to love and also self-love. In the solar plexus around the belly, we have the Manipura chakra, and this is related to willpower, self-esteem, pleasure, personal responsibility. Below that, we have the Swadhisthana in the sacral area, related to creative and sexual energy. At the root of this chakra system is the Muladhara chakra, also called the root chakra, and this is related to safety, security, stability, more instinctual needs of human beings. The heart chakra determines how we feel, how we see the world, how we relate to other people, how much love and compassion we can create and provide in our world and our relationships. So this chakra is very important for not only our happiness and self-realization, but that of the world. How we see the world, how we process information, how we relate to others depends on the state of our subtle and causal dimensions. Our luminous energy field, the chakras. Our heart plays an important role in these. People who live through their heart, which are not many, maybe enlightened people, spiritual masters that have achieved higher levels of awareness and a deep understanding of these concepts, they are able to live through their hearts. And people who live through their brains are completely different. In the West, we associate living through the brain as something smart, something that we want to attain. And of course, we want to use our brain to perform difficult tasks, to take an exam, to fly an airplane, to drive a car. But once we are done with this specific task that requires information, data, and logical reasoning, we don't have to overuse our brain and our thoughts anymore. We can go in our heart. Even when we are using our brain, that doesn't mean we stop using our heart chakra. The heart connects us to higher levels of awareness outside of personal bias. It connects us with the one consciousness beyond human thought and language. The heart has no words. It only knows. This is why when you are in love with someone, you don't need to say anything. That person can feel the electromagnetic field that you create through your heart, and the person can see the love through your eyes. The eyes are the window to the soul, to the heart. The heart has this innate intelligence because it is connected with the one consciousness. On the other hand, people who live through their brain, they use accumulated data and information. They resource to their memory. This is tainted by personal bias, fears, beliefs, and social conditioning. So the brain of a human being has been formed through the years and has packaged beliefs, belief systems that the person has not necessarily chosen, because it starts very early. When we are babies, when we are children, we are told what to think, what to believe in, what system to belong to, sometimes what school to go and who to marry. We learn to detach from our intuition, to detach from what our soul is telling us. The heart has true innate intelligence. The heart rhythms affect the brain's ability to process information. If the heart is not in balance with the brain, which we call coherence, the brain starts to malfunction. Electromagnetic fields around the heart is the most powerful energetic field in the human body. The heart has around 40,000 neurons or receptors like the brain. This is why we say that the heart works as a brain, but from an expanded awareness. When the brain, the nervous system, and the heart chakra are in coherence, they are aligned, they are in balance, the person goes into a higher level of awareness. This is what the rishis and rishikas and yogis of India many years ago discovered tools to access this higher awareness through meditation, asanas or mantras and other methods. But meditation is one of the most important yogic tools to train our brain to not be overreacting and overthinking when it is not necessary, and to connect with our heart, to connect with our intuition, so we can access this higher awareness, which is the one consciousness. What happens when we close our heart? We live from a place of fear. Sometimes people tend to get sad, isolated, or depressed, and this affects our relationships. We are afraid of trying, of failure. We are afraid of others and suspicious of others. When our heart is closed, we lose access to our life force and to our aliveness. Our energy is low or negative, and people feel that, and sometimes they don't want to be around us. We find it difficult to find the discipline to do tasks or perform responsibilities. There is a lack of motivation, a lack of willpower. When our heart is opened, there is clarity because we are connected to the one consciousness, to higher awareness. If the heart is so powerful, why it is so easily broken? The heart goes through heartache because we have to grow. Growth is the reason that we find challenges and obstacles in our life. Being part of this material world, of this physical world, implies and involves that we are going to suffer. Challenges are going to show up and obstacles are going to be there. When we open our heart, that doesn't mean that everything is beautiful and magical automatically, but we live from a different center of awareness. We live with presence. We live with focus, and we devote time to the present moment, to the task at hand, with loving focus and concentration. If we were completely isolated from the world, for example, living in a cave and without experiencing the challenges of relationships, of work, of life, our growth and our evolution will be probably much slower. But when we are thrown into this world, this material world that comes with obstacles, challenges, difficult people, and ego, we grow exponentially, we grow substantially. How can we open our heart? There are two very important steps to open your heart. One of them is forgiveness. If we have lived difficult experiences in the past, if people have betrayed us in the past or in the present, if we have suffered, if we have gone through very difficult times, the best thing we can do, instead of dwelling in the past, once we acknowledge that we have gone through a difficult experience, forgiveness is the antidote to living a miserable life with a closed heart. The other very important attitude is acceptance. Sometimes we call it surrender. And this is a very powerful word, and in our Western mind is very intimidating because it implies that we are giving away our power. Accepting others, accepting ourselves, our own flaws and our own weaknesses is the first step to opening our heart. Also, playing and creativity is very important to open the heart. Be like a child again. If you remember when you were a child, I remember jumping on the bed, laughing until I started crying, tears from my eyes, running, playing jokes to others, saying what I really thought without a filter, being genuine and authentic without hurting others. All of these helps open up your heart. The arts, music, being creative, ideas, projects, writing, composing, listening to music, dancing, laughing, all of that helps open up our hearts. So when we talk about the heart chakra and true human intelligence, we have to talk about relationships a little bit, because relationships, in my opinion, are one of the biggest challenges for human beings. We are surrounded by relationships, and some of these can be toxic. We are truly lucky to find people who are healthy and balanced, grounded and wise, to give us really something meaningful in that interaction. Our success in relationships depends on the extent that someone is asking you to change who you are or leave part of who you are outside of the relationship. If you feel that not all of who you are is accepted in a relationship, you will not be able to stay connected to your heart and you will not grow. Who we are, the core of who we are, and our soul's calling has to be completely accepted unconditionally in our relationships. Otherwise, we are not able to grow, and then we close our heart. We close our heart because we feel disconnected. This person, instead of being a bridge to your heart to flourish and open up, it becomes a blockage. The heart points to the most essential dimension within you. So to live in connectedness with that, then you are in touch with the power of life itself, the power of the very intelligence that pervades and underlines the entire universe. So there are also two big enemies of your heart chakra that don't help with opening up your heart and living through the heart. And this is fear and anger. When we are frustrated, angry, anxious, or upset, the rhythm of the heart becomes incoherent, creates a noise that drowns our intuitive signals. Fear and anger, anxiety, being upset with the world or with people, with the unfairness of world's events, this just drowns your intuitive intelligence, your heart chakra. We have to go above this and really be grounded in our center, in our spiritual center. Fear and anger not only affect the heart, but also the brain. When we feel angry and fearful or anxious, there is no coherence between the heart of the brain and the brain. We don't listen to the heart. Also, logic is not clear. We make bad decisions. Sympathetic nervous system is activated and prepares the body for fight, flight, or freeze response. The heart beats faster, inhibits digestion, causes heavy breathing, and this affects our entire body. All ancient traditions of the world point to the heart as the true intelligence. The heart knows because it is balanced by a deeper truth. The heart is faster and wiser than the mind because judgment and bias are not in the heart. The mind is always judging, always off balance. The mind is worried, the mind is fearful, the mind is suspicious. The mind wants to put labels and put people in boxes and categories, divisions, fears. The heart is the complete opposite. That's all for spirits. I hope this was very helpful. As always, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next video.